Okay, class. So we've got some, pronouns this week, as well as in-text citations and quotations. So I want to kind of zoom through a few of the things that the websites and information, don't have for you. Maybe talking about it a little bit might help as well. One of the things I like to do with these lectures is kind of cut to the chase about, and focus on how it will help you in your essay writing. You have, all this information and these links provided, that you need to learn about pronouns and all this stuff. But this is the point of this is to help you focus on what's most important. Kind of this is shortcuts in a way. Okay. So look, one of the things that you really need to remember when you're talking about pronouns and how it affects your essay writing is you have to always give the name of whatever it is you're going to make a pronoun of, like Sarah here. You always need to give that noun first. And then you have to realize that if you drop a pronoun in this sentence, like here or here with this she, the rule is that pronoun is going to refer backwards this way into the sentence that came previous, looking for a noun that matches it in number and gender. Number being singular plural, gender being male or female if that's determined. Even if it's so basically, you have to be very careful when you write these essays that you don't drop a pronoun in without a noun to refer back to, or like in this case where they've got the my sister and the Sarah, that you don't have two pronouns and one is referring to the sister and one is referring to Sarah, but we never got the sister, so we have no way of knowing that. That's how it most directly affects you and your writing. Another thing that's kind of changed, if you're a little bit older, like me, back when I was coming up, the default gender, if you did not know, was he. And so you would have the new student will arrive today and you would have to write he, or you would have to write, later, like during the 90s, it became he or she. And now we're kind of using they as a gender neutral pronoun. That if you're a little bit older like me, you might have to get used to that. It's still okay, to say he or she. It all depends. A lot depends on who your audience is and what they might prefer. Um, or if you're writing to someone or not. But anyways, all right. So I just wanted to point that out. Some other things. Oh yeah, this is a mistake I see a lot in essays. You use who to refer to people, which and that refer to animals or things. A lot of people use that, which or that when they're talking about people. Try to avoid that. An easy way to tell the difference between who versus whom is who is a subject pronoun and whom is an object pronoun, meaning that who is always going to do the verb and whom is always going to have the verb to it. This package was sent to whom was this package sent. So remember that. Let's see, some other common things. Okay, some other things that pop up. Indefinite pronouns. Everybody, somebody, nobody, anybody, anyone, everyone, no one, someone, somebody, all those are always singular. So instead of everybody were late, everybody was late. So you have to remember that. So that means they also get, singular pronouns often, depending on if it's like a team or whatever, it versus they, so keep an eye on that. Keep an eye out for that. Some, all, and none are what I kind of call the bisexual pronouns because they can swing both ways. You have to look at the context of the sentence to see which way they're being used. All right, so keep an eye out for that. Those are common errors in essays, and I think that is kind of the highlight as far as essays go. Now, as far as quotation marks go, look, one thing that you can do to kind of save yourself some trouble is just look at how things are punctuated. Just look at where the comma goes. The comma's inside here. Yes, this is a complete sentence that's being quoted here, but it is part of your sentence. So you get a comma here. A lot of people have that comma outside of the quotes. Notice there's no comma with that. Notice if you're not quoting, anyways, sorry. So again, complete sentence. Notice you have a capital T there. Notice you have a comma after said, says, repeated, words of that nature. If you're only quoting part of sentences, you can work them into the sentence like this. Note how it is punctuated, period inside the quotes. All right, just look very carefully at these examples. A lot of the quiz information is going to be based off this today. And the pronouns and the MLA in-text citation rules, okay? All right, so just take a look at how, when you have a quote that's interrupted, look at how that's punctuated, okay? And so, I mean, look, there's nothing that I can say to make you learn this. You just, have to figure it out, and you have to kind of do the work and kind of look. Quote inside of a quote. Notice those get single quotes. That's going to come into play if you start quoting research later on at the end of the semester. All right, so keep a look at that. When you quote a single word, like you're drawing attention to a specific word, it has quotes around it. That often shows up in essays. All right, and we have a practice quiz. Oftentimes, I'll pull questions off the practice quiz for the midterm and final, and for the quizzes each week. All right. This is a good website for you to get familiar with. It does citations for you, not perfectly though, so you have to check them every time, but it has all kinds of buttons over here on the left that can help you with MLA format, and it shows you how to quote something. You notice that the page number citation is before the period but after the quotes. Notice that if you have the author's last name in the sentence, it is not in there with the citation. Notice here, you do put it in there with the citation because it's not in the sentence. Author's last name, page number, and MLA format. Now there's different rules if you don't have the page number, stuff like that. You have to kind of read, for instance, electronic sources, sample works cited page. This is what it should look like. Notice the indentions. Notice everything is capitalized. Italics on the books, quotes on the thing, on the article. But what you need to be familiar with right now is starting to look at in-text citations. And this is, of course, how you work, a sentence into the essay, because you might be quoting from Ishmael very soon to make a point. So this is some of the things you might want to look. We're just quoting from a book, so that's pretty simple. Author page style right here, just Quinn and the page number. So this is pretty much all you need to know right now. All right, I hope that's somewhat helpful.